Welcome to another episode of my show, JC Diaz Uncensored. I hope you guys have had a great weekend. And in today's episode, I thought I will bring you guys a little bit of a motivational video to start the week. Today is Sunday, and it's 6:43 in the afternoon. I am recording this now, and I want to do this video to just to help you, motivate you to go get through the week, and not only the week, but to get through life as much as I can. So let's go ahead. We're going to get the show started, and I'll be back in a few seconds. And we are back. All right, so let's get right into it. Before we start, right, I want you to think about something. I want you to think about this. If nothing in your life changed for the next 5 years, would you be proud of where you end up, or will you feel regret? Because here's the truth, right? Most people will avoid, if you don't take control of your life, someone else will. If you don't take control of your environment, your habits, your past, other people's expectations of you. So today we are talking about how to take your power back. Not in a loud motivational quote way, right? But in a real way, a practical way, a permanent way. And if you stay with me until the end, I promise you will walk away with a blueprint you can start using immediately. And so if you are ready to stop drifting and start designing your life, stay with me. You are not stuck. You are conditioned. And this is the first part that I want to talk to you guys. So most people believe that they're stuck, when they're not doing good. But you're not. You are. Most people believe they're stuck in a job, stuck in a routine, stuck in debt, stuck in habits, stuck in a mindset. But here's the uncomfortable truth: you are simply not stuck. You are conditioned, and I'm gonna explain myself. You have been conditioned by society and by your family, by your friends, by your upbringing, conditioned by your environment, conditioned by repeated thoughts, conditioned by fear. The human brain loves patterns, and whatever you repeat becomes normal. So you see that when people lie all the time, it becomes normal to them after a little while. So if you repeat self-doubt, doubt becomes identity. And if you repeat procrastination, it becomes personality. If you repeat excuses, they become the truth. But what was conditioned can be reconditioned. So that is actually power right there. So this is where radical responsibility comes in. And responsibility is not blame. Blame says this is my fault. Responsibility says this is in my control. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop waiting for rescue. You stop waiting for permission. And you, instead of waiting for all those things, you will start deciding. That decision, that shift is the moment you gain control, or control returns to you. Now, the mindset that changes everything. This is the second part, right? There is a reason Mindset by Carol Dweck became so powerful. And it introduced two simple but life-altering ideas. The first example is the fixed mindset, and the second example is the growth mindset. A fixed mindset says This is just who I am. I am not talented. I can't change. And a growth mindset says, I can improve, I can learn, I can adapt. And the only difference between these two mentalities, determines your future. The difference between these two mentalities determines your future. If you believe you can grow, you will attempt. If you attempt, you will improve. If you improve, you will gain confidence. If you gain confidence, you will take bigger actions. It becomes a cycle of expansion. But here's the part most people miss. Positive mindset does not mean pretending everything is perfect. It means believing you can handle what is not perfect. Some things are not meant to be perfect, and you need to learn how to handle it. Optimism is not a delusion, it's actually a resilience. It's saying, this is hard, but I am capable. This didn't work, but I'll adjust. I failed, but I am not finished. That right there is what we call power. That's the power of persuasion to your own brain. Um, the third part of this series, this video, is action creates motivation. So let me destroy a myth right now for you guys. Um, Motivation does not create action. It's the total opposite. It's action creates motivation. So I'm gonna explain myself. Most people sit around waiting to feel ready, right? But readiness is a product of movement or a byproduct of movement. And you don't become confident, then you take action. You take action first and then you become confident, right? Confidence follows after you take action. Think about the first time you tried, I don't know, anything new. You were nervous, you doubted yourself, you felt uncomfortable. But what happens after repetition? What happens after you repeated it a bunch of times? Well, what happens is you improve, you relax, you grew, and that's how control works. And that's how you take control of your life. You practice, practice, practice until you improve. You wake up early even when you are tired, right? You go to the gym even when you don't feel motivated. You work on your goal even when nobody's clapping, because discipline is self-respect in action. And every time you keep a promise to yourself, your identity will shift. You start seeing yourself as someone reliable, and that is one of the most powerful transformations a person can experience for themselves. I think that is really powerful, and is a really positive mindset when you take control of your life and you decide for yourself, yes, I'm gonna do it. Now, the next part is control your inner voice. Your life is shaped by one voice more than any other, the one inside your head. How do you speak to yourself? If your inner voice constantly says, I'm not good enough, or I always mess things up, or man, I can't do this today, or anytime I can't really do this, then what you're doing is you are fighting yourself every single day. And you can't win a battle against your own mind. So you have to take control of your life. Taking control of your life means auditing your thoughts. When a negative thoughts appears, don't accept it automatically. Just challenge it. Don't accept it automatically. Just challenge it and say, for example, replace I can't do this with I can learn how to do this. Or you can replace I failed with I gain feedback, and next time I will do it better. This is not fake positivity, it's just collecting data for improvement. Is cognitive discipline. That's what I would call it, right? So your thoughts create emotions, your emotions influence your behavior, and your behavior determines results. So change the thought and you change the trajectory. That's the way I will see it. I will see this part. Now, your environment is stronger than willpower. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems, right? If you think about it and you pay attention, the idea that idea you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. That idea was made popular by Atomic Habits by James Clear. If your environment encourages distractions, you will struggle to focus. If your environment normalizes negativity, positivity becomes difficult. For example, look at your daily inputs. What are you watching? Who are you listening to? Who are you spending time with? And energy is contagious. If you want a positive mindset, immerse yourself in growth-oriented environments. Books, podcasts, mentors, healthy conversations. You don't need a dramatic life overhaul. All you need is small, consistent shifts. Change what you consume, change who you engage with, change what you tolerate, and slowly your baseline will rise. So the sixth part is fear is a direction, not a stop sign. The life you want likely exists on the other side of discomfort. Fear is not an enemy, it's a signal. If something scares you, speaking up, starting something new, setting boundaries, that might be the exact area you need to grow. Confidence is built through exposure. Every time you do something uncomfortable, your brain learns. I survived that, and survival builds beliefs. Taking control of your life requires stepping toward fear, not away from it, because every avoided fear strengthens limitation, and every faced fear expands possibility. Now, shift from goals to identity. Goals are temporary, identity is permanent. Instead of saying, I want to get fit, say, I am becoming someone who trains consistently. Instead of saying, I want success, say, I am becoming disciplined. Your actions should match who you are becoming. When identity changes, behavior follows naturally. And when behavior allows daily, results become inevitable. Now, if you want to take control starting today, here's your blueprint. Control your mornings. Second thing is do one difficult thing daily, replace one negative thought daily, reduce one draining influence, reflect every night, small actions repeated consistently over time, and that is transformation. Now, I'm going to leave you with this, right? You are not behind, you are not broken, you are not powerless, you are one decision away from momentum. Your life will change when your standards of life change. Your future will change when your habits change. Your confidence will change when your actions change. No one is coming to save you. And that is actually not scary. That is empowering because it means the power is already yours. If this message resonated, please comment below. I'm taking control. Let that be your declaration. You are not here to drift. You are here to design your life. Now, I want you to do me a favor and go build it. I'll see you guys on the next video. This is JC Diaz Uncensored, and have a great week. See you later. Peace.